All right, we're about ready to get things started here. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Friday evening so far. All right, so we gotta talk about the Game Awards, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, wasn't able to do a reaction stream of it. I'll try and get one in next year. For some reason, right, I thought the Game Awards was tonight. I didn't know it was on a Thursday, so I basically just didn't have the time to request it off, and I already had another day requested off prior to that, so yeah. That's a bit of an oopsie. That's also why there wasn't a stream last night, because the Game Awards was still going on by the time I got home from work. So I want to, finish watching all that. But let's go through the highlights. Obviously we're gonna go to the couple of very big awards that went out. So obviously Game of the Year went to Astrobot. I've not played it myself, although I've heard really good things about Astrobot. Like a lot of people said that, yeah, no, it was worthy of being a Game of the Year contender, even though I personally feel like there should have been other games up for contention this year. I still find it odd that they added Shadow of the Year Tree, which is so funny because they had the two old, I can't remember their names, the two old Muppets that just make fun of like every theater thing that they're at. I can't remember their names. But they make a joke about that. They make a joke about a couple of things. They try and be like meta about it almost. Like they bring up the fact there's a DLC up for contention, and they make a mention to one of the main sort of controversies that happened at last year's Game Awards, where they were telling like the voice actors and all the other award winners to hurry it up so that they could get off the stage and all that, which is very odd. But Astrobot, congrats to the devs of Astrobot for that one. I'll try and play it whenever I get the time. There's a lot of games I'm still trying to play through right now. I guess one of the main things, now I'm speaking as someone who has not watched either show yet, so I wouldn't know. But I know a lot of people were upset about Fallout winning Best Adaptation over Arcane. Which, based on what I've heard, Arcane is... Well, both shows are phenomenal, from what I've heard. As I said, based on what I've heard, it seems like Arcane had a better shot of getting it than Fallout. So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched either show yet. I'm still in the middle of watching Spy Family. I'm almost finished with season 2. I'm a procrastinating bitch. But I'm a little bit upset Black Myth Wukong didn't win Game of the Year, but that did win Player's Choice, which is the Player's Choice is like the 100% viewer, like 100% user voted one. So Wukong won Player's Choice, so you could make the argument that technically counts as well, which I am happy for personally. I was a little bit surprised to see that Astrobot, I think Astrobot also won Best Family Game during like the pre-show. Because I thought for sure it was going to go to Super Mario Party, because 9 times out of 10 the Best Family Game award usually goes to a Nintendo game. So there was that. What else was there? GTA 6 obviously won Best Most Anticipated Game. I think everyone is getting, like, 2025 is going to be a big year for gaming. That's going to be, like, 2025 is going to be what 2023 was. I can almost guarantee it. Unless everything gets pushed back here, in which case, well, shit. Yeah, anything else that, from, like, awards specifically? Because I'm going to get to games that were shown off, games that I was genuinely surprised to see come back. We're just gonna go ahead and jump into it now. This entire Game Awards ceremony was basically the Game Awards where old IPs came back. Old IPs not just old IPs, but devs that are famous for certain types of games are coming back with brand new projects and all that. A lot of stuff that, like, a lot of the announcements for this year really fucking... Well, firstly, even though this has been shown off for a while now, I am excited that we're finally getting a release window for Crimson Desert. That's been on my watch list since it was first announced. So I think the release window is like late 2025. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked for that. But now the first like oddball thing that I saw was it was during the pre-show. They showed off this game called Shadow Labyrinth, which is from what I could gather is gonna be a Metroidvania where you use... I was also getting Dustin and Legion Tail vibes from it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because like, oh, you're playing as a dude with a sword, and you got like this little like companion buddy, which by the way, the little companion is fucking Pac-Man. And it looks like you'll be able to morph into Pac-Man to do different things, like climbing up walls and eating power pellets and all that other type of stuff. And at the end of it, it showed Pac-Man with fangs. I'm just like, oh, all right then. So yeah, Shadow Labyrinth looks like it'll be an interesting, a very interesting Metroidvania to play through. The next one that like I'm actually really fucking stoked for, and this might actually give me a reason to get into the show. The Game of Thrones game that was announced. There was a new Game of Thrones game announced. I think it's called Game of Thrones King's Road. And obviously the only games that we had in the Game of Thrones like universe were the Telltale game, which by the way, I gotta add that to my list also. So yeah, you had the Telltale game, and then you had, you know, the fucking very crappy mobile game. Like, I'm actually genuinely shocked that it's taken us this long to get a Game of Thrones game that looks interesting. Because this looks to be an action-adventure type hack and slash. I kind of got, like, maybe you'll play, like, God of War 2018. So, yeah, I'm pretty stoked for that. It might actually get me into watching Game of Thrones. I started it years ago. I got, like, partway through the first season, and I just stopped. And this game might actually get me into picking the show back up again. So yeah, Game of Thrones King's Road looks to be pretty cool. Then you had a new Elden Ring game announced, which by the way, I gotta say, I am with you, Bloodborne crowd. I am upset that we didn't get any Bloodborne remastered announcement. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But let's see here. Yeah, they showed off a new Elden Ring game called Elden Ring Night Rain. And apparently it's going to incorporate some of the characters from different Souls games. Like, apparently, even though we didn't get anything there was a character from Bloodborne. I think her name was Maria. That was shown. And the Nameless King from either Elden Ring or Dark Souls. I don't know a lot of the major characters in those games. He appeared as well, and based on what I could gather, it seems like it's going to be like this weird battle royale PvE type game. Because it's all co-op. It looks to be co-op, which kind of intrigued me a bit, because it seems like it's going to be like a direct multiplayer co-op rather than like you need to summon your friend and you get like the silhouette. This looks to be like more direct compared to like the other Souls games. And because it was kind of cool because it showed off this this like bird, this like phantom looking bird thing, which according to what I've seen appears to be like that game's version of the battle bus. So it looks interesting, but there are people worried, and I can kind of I get where their worries. I get why they're worried. It still looks cool though. I still need to pick up Elden Ring. I own it. I've been meaning to play it, but just, you know, a lot of other stuff has been requiring my attention. There was another game announced by the Yakuza devs. called Project Century, which is taking place in Japan in, I think, 1915. And originally I thought it was a Yakuza game, but then I was like, man, this is gonna be one of the, because in this trailer they show off like you using this crowbar and caving this dude's head in. There's like a fuckload amount of blood showing. I'm like, man, if this is a Yakuza game, this is like easily the goriest Yakuza game I've ever seen. But no, it seems to be somewhat unrelated. It still takes place in Japan. It does still look really fucking good though. Like the game looks beautiful, so I can't wait for that. Then obviously I think the actual awards, the full show, start off with the Witcher 4 trailer, which I'm really excited for. Looks like you're gonna be able to play a Ciri this time around. I did start playing through Witcher 3. I kind of stopped playing it though. I'm definitely gonna try and get back into it when the next year rolls around, if I can. But I know a lot of people are upset that that you're playing a Ciri, even though based on what I've read, this is kind of like where the story has been going for a while now. So I personally feel like it makes sense. I get why people were like, oh, I would have been cool to make your own Witcher. I mean, shit, who's to say that they won't do that for the next Witcher game? Depending on how this, on how Witcher 4 goes, who's to say the next Witcher game won't be you create your own character? Like, calm down, people. But I know after Witcher 4's release, I feel like they're gonna focus on Cyberpunk 2, which does, because I have predictions for this year. One of my predictions was that they were gonna give us a teaser for The Witcher 4. And I thought they were also gonna add in a teaser for the new Cyberpunk game, but no, I was only half right on my prediction. My other predictions were Jak and Daxter remake trilogy, God of War remake trilogy, and Quake remake. Neither of those happened, so I'm stuck crying at the end of the night. Then we got a sequel to Outer Worlds 2 announced, which I am excited for. I played the first Outer Worlds game when it came out back in 2018, 2019, one of those years. It was fun. Highly recommend you go play it if you're into like it's more like hyper sci-fi, if there's any word for it. Either way, I recommend you go play it if you haven't. Then I talked about Telltale earlier. They did announce another game called Dispatch, which it seems like you're working as a dispatcher at like this police headquarters, but except it's for superheroes. Because they showed off like different types of heroes and different types of powers and all that, and you're gonna be able to select like what hero goes on what mission. Which that could be fun. Obviously we're gonna have to wait and see more on that. What else was there? Okay, so on to stuff that we weren't really expecting. So we got a new game announced by the same devs of Shadow of the Colossus, Eco, and The Last Guardian. It has gone untitled so far, doesn't have a name. But the teaser showed like this pilot dude walking up what looked to be a very huge mech suit. And they go into the head of this mech suit and they fly off before the suit just gets completely obliterated by something, because there's like an ominous countdown throughout the duration of the trailer. Don't know what that's about, don't know what the game is called, but it could be fun. Obviously we're gonna have to wait and see more on that end. And probably there were so many huge surprises this year, because probably one of the biggest ones was they announced a new Virtua Fighter game. We got a new Virtua Fighter announced, which I guess that game hasn't had a new game since like 2007. So yeah, that was really shocking to see. Almost immediately after that, we got the announcement of a new fucking Turok game, which is so hilarious because me and my coworker, we were literally talking about the other day about, oh, why haven't we got a new Turok game in like forever, or like a remake? And lo and behold, we're getting a new Turok game. When they showed off the trailer, I thought it was a new trailer for Arc 2, because I know, like, that game has, like, the similar futuristic, prehistoric aesthetic to it. But we got a new Turok game. It's called Turok Origins. Looks like it's gonna be a third-person... It's gonna be a 3-player, third-person shooter. It looks to be more akin to, like, Monster Hunter, almost. Which could be really cool. Yeah, no, this game looks fun. I already have it wishlisted on Steam, so stoked to see when that comes out. Then one of the last game reveals of the night was, hey, Naughty Dog remembered that they can make new video games, so one of the last trailers they showed off for the Game Awards was a trailer for a brand new IP of this sci-fi, looks to be bounty hunter style game called Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet. And immediately the trailer opens up with basically this anime playing on this TV in the ship. Which, by the way, there was a fuckload of product placement in this trailer alone. There was like 3 different brands I noticed. Because the ship itself is a Porsche ship. The main character, who is like this, you know, buzz-haired, nice-looking lady, which obviously, you know, a lot of people, a lot of fucking dipshits on the internet got mad at, so they can cry. She looked like she was wearing Adidas shoes, and on top of that, when she gets into like her cockpit thing, basically, she's playing on a Sony, like a Sony radio or a CD player. And I was looking more into it. It appears Neil Druckmann is going to be the director of this. I have not played anything Neil Druckmann. I guess he was like behind The Last of Us Part 2, which I still haven't played any of The Last of Us games, so I honestly wouldn't know. But Trent Reznor is going to compose the soundtrack for this game, which, you know, already stoked on, because Trent Reznor, that dude's composed games for so many iconic franchises. He's composed soundtracks for, like he did I talked about Quake earlier, he did the Quake 1 soundtrack. And more recently, because the soundtrack's kind of been on my mind, he did the soundtrack for Call of Duty Black Ops 2. So that he's kind of like big in the video game industry for the soundtracks that he composes. So that we're looking to have a pretty good soundtrack on our hands with this one. And in case it wasn't obvious, they did confirm that there was like a very heavy Cowboy Bebop inspired style, which I couldn't tell judging by the very obvious Cowboy Bebop looking anime playing on the TV. But obviously we're gonna need to see gameplay on it, see what the story's like. It could be really fun if they can knock it out of the park with because we haven't really had like a good sci-fi sort of bounty hunting game in a hot minute or ever. So if they turn this into a really great hunting style game, well, firstly, you bet your ass that yours truly is gonna be playing it. And I've always generally been a fan of what Naughty Dog has put out. I enjoy Uncharted. Y'all know I love Jak and Daxter. I've only played a little bit of Crash Bandicoot, but I do love Crash Bandicoot. So yeah, I'm just excited that we're getting a new thing from Naughty Dog after almost 10 years. So yeah, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet looks to be very interesting. We don't have a release window yet. Could be 2025, could be even 2026 or 2027. We're gonna have to wait and see. And then, hold on, I'm gonna get a drink right quick because I'm quite parched. All right, now, the big reveal. It was like the last reveal at the end of the Game Awards ceremony. That you know, that our good old buddy Jeff was super excited to show off. We got the announcement of a sequel to Okami, which I've not played Okami, but I've heard many great things about it. And I know that Okami fans are absolutely excited for this game's announcement. I'll have to pick a time to play the original Okami, because I know you can get Okami HD on Steam and all that. And I don't know. Okay. I don't know how I almost forgot. But in the middle of the show, they also announced a brand new Onimusha game, which from what I know, Onimusha is basically Resident Evil, but in feudal Japan. And I know there's a lot of fans of the Onimusha franchise. Hey, I were the Crazy Kraken. Thank you for the raid with the party of 11 viewers. Hello, everyone. I am Bill with the Banner. Bill was my name. I'm bounty hunting is my game. I hunt at the base of the Badlands, and I head back to my bunker hideout. And I do this. And before we jump into Lord of the Rings War in the North, we're talking about the Game Awards. New Onimusha game, which I was not expecting. Because it seemed like Capcom was kind of leaving that game series on the wayside for the longest time now. And also, just a personal thing that I popped for. We're getting Clive Rossfield in Tekken 8. So you bet your ass I'll be buying that shit when it comes out. I think it's the 16th. If you want like early access. So I'm definitely going to buy Clive Rossfield, especially since I'm going to be gearing up for my 5-year streaming anniversary next week. So make sure to tune into that December 20th. Yeah, we got Clive Rossfield for Tekken 8. I know a lot of people are upset by that because, you know, it's not Tifa, but from what I hear, Tifa, or just Final Fantasy VII characters in general, are incredibly expensive to license for different fighting games. Like, apparently, I heard Cloud was, like, incredibly difficult to get into Smash. So, yeah. And it's one of those times where I wish Namco would release a new Soul Calibur game, because I could totally see Clive fitting in with the Soul Calibur crowd than the Tekken crowd, because he does look very out of place. But I feel like I'm still gonna have fun with him regardless. So, yeah. But yeah, no. Game Awards. The award ceremony where IPs came back from the dead. We had Turok, we had Virtua Fighter, we had Onimusha, and we got we got Okami, and we got new game from the Shadow of the Colossus devs, and along with just new IPs in general. Like I know there was another one from Hazelight Games, which is the company behind No Way Out and It Takes Two, called Split Fiction, where the entire gimmick is that you're switching between two different worlds created by these authors. So like one's sci-fi and one's fantasy. That looks like is gonna be really cool. You had another game being made by the Overcooked devs called Stage Fright. I've not played Overcooked. I haven't really played any other game that has been made by them, but that looks like it could be really cool. There's just a lot. Like we got a new Sonic game announced, a new Sonic racing game announced, which I'm just kind of like, like I haven't really. I'm gonna not entirely excited for the Sonic racing games. I wasn't particularly excited with Team Racing, so yeah. I'm gonna be honest though. When I heard the revving, the engines revving, I thought it was gonna be, you know, their upcoming Crazy Taxi release. But no, that wasn't that. And speaking of racing games, they showed off another game called Screamer, which is like this very anime-styled racing game. It could be really cool. I honestly thought it was gonna be a new Need for Speed game, but it wasn't. So, yeah. But that's basically it. Let's see if I can scroll down and find any more announcements that I may have missed. So, we got the new Helldivers 2 update. They added the Illuminates. which finally, along with a new vehicle, looks to be basically a warthog. You know, could be fun. Again, I just feel like they need to add more to Helldivers 2. Like, I might get back into it, but I also may not. We got another trailer for Dying Light: The Beast, which I was excited for when they showed it off at Gamescom, I believe. New Mafia game, The Old Country. I need to get into the Mafia games. New Double Dragon. Showed off more for the first Berserker Kazan, which has been on my watch list ever since that game was announced. Anything else? Let's see. Borderlands 4. Yeah, we got Borderlands 4 trailer. Again, looks fun. I need to... I still need to play through Borderlands 3, 2. We're still in the middle of the Borderlands 1 playthrough. I've got to get in touch with the boys and see when we could probably continue that. Also, Headpats Iroh. Yeah, Borderlands 4 looks like it could be cool. Killing Floor T? Killing Floor T? No, Killing Floor 3. Looks fun. Oh, yeah! Who made Rematch? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Was this a Psyonix game? Hold on. No. So there was like this soccer game announced called Rematch, and it literally just looks like if the drivers of the Rocket League cars got out and actually played soccer. That actually looks pretty fun. It might be one of the few soccer games I actually play. Gonna go decompress after streaming for 5 hours. Oh, okay. Well, you have a good rest, Iroh. Thank you once again for the raid. Yeah, you had Thickest Thieves, which is like this, so it's a PvPvE multiplayer stealth game set in the 1910s. That looks pretty cool. They had a moving away VR simulator called One Move Away. This looks pretty wonky. And then obviously new Ninja Gaiden game. I've not played the Ninja Gaiden games, but I know a lot of people love those games, so I'm excited for all of y'all who love Ninja Gaiden. But yeah, I think that's basically it on the Game Awards side of things. So we got Lord of the Rings War in the North stuff to do. About 40 minutes in, I realize. But before we get into that, you know how it is. You know how I got to give a shout out to Night Ride FM, your 24/7 synthwave radio. They have an app on Android devices as well as website. You can call nightride.fm. They also have a Discord server that can join as well as getting all updates and releases regarding all things synthwave. On both the website and the app, you can search between different radio stations that the part output that play various subgenres of synthwave. So they got stuff like chill synth, data wave, space synth, dark synth, horror synth, and EBSM. And if you are a streamer, they have a stream-free archive playlist. A lot of really great stuff on there, a lot of really great songs. Don't know what else you could ask for. So once again, make sure to go check them out. That is nightride.fm, your 24/7 synthwave radio. But just remember, everyone, just remember that this is not a sponsorship. This is just a thoughtful shill, which is the best kind of shill. All right. So, Lord of the Rings is a game and also a movie. Which, by the way, tonight is also the night that the new Lord of the Rings movie comes out, War of the Rohirrim. I will not be seeing it tonight because I'm waiting on my brother to not have to work because I want to go see it with him. Which probably means we're going to have to wait until next weekend. Which next weekend is also when Sonic the Hedgehog 3 comes out. So, may have to ask him if he'd be down to do a double feature night that weekend. So last we left off, I'm gonna select the save just in case. So last we left off, we basically stopped Akadar's plans in Fornos, but he got away. And so now we are heading to Rivendell, but in order to do that, we gotta go through the Barrow Downs. And in the Barrow Downs, we're about to go rescue some rangers who have not came back from their scouting party. Or their little scouting patrol. So, yeah. We're going in that little cave of fun over there.
Beware the swirling stones.
I fucking miss. Ow. Come on. Ow. That hurt. Let me know if the game is too loud. Or if it's like, oh, okay. Reinforced Harlan shield. Sounds good? Okay.
Signs right. Lewin and Kalara fought a battle here as well. And look here, the broken shards of a ranger's sword. I know
And the sword
belonged to Kalara.
This is one of your comrades. Where are they now?
The tracks show where two bodies were dragged to the entrance of that large barrow.
Were they living or dead?
That I cannot say.
The only way to discover their fate is by following them into the Barrow.
Oh, how fun. Into the dank and decrepit dead cave. Barrow of Amon-Gorthad.
This tomb is the one of SHILL.
This is no place for a big man. Let's find my friends.
Let's hope we're not too late.
Ooh.
Signs are clear. Rangers were once here. They left some useful items.
Oh, Rangers were once here. Could it be the Rangers we're looking for? Oh, hell yeah, dude. Love all the loot.
Face a ranger now! Let's see if you can take me!
Oh my god. Where do you... It's a mystery in where that zombie got flung off to. I might get that, the two-handed, the dual-wielding ability. Yeah. That'll be good for, like, ad clearing.
Servants of the enemy, beware!
What the hell? Ah. Ancient key.
Face a Dunedain now!
Andriel? There you are. Open the door, get on the floor. Alright.
Face a ranger now!
Damn. Got an achievement. Kill 600 enemies in one single playthrough.
You're no match for me!
You face the power of the Eldar!
Dunedain now!
Oh, wow. Usually they stay up after I decapitate them. Not that zombie though. That zombie was a bitch. Ah, darn. Ow! Fuck my ears. That is really loud.
Face of Dunedain now!
I'll turn down the effects settings right quick. And that one attack literally just annihilated my left ear. Oh.
He lives. Can you hear me, Lewin? Awake.
No strength can prevail against this sickness. What good are swords in the face of this plague? What in the name of... Eridan?
Yes, it's me, my friend.
I have been dreaming.
As you awoke, you said something about a plague. What did you mean?
I don't know. It was as if I was someone else. I remember a plague. Despair.
The Great Plague. Nearly 300 years ago, it devastated the Dunedain of this region. You were sharing the dreams of those for whom this tomb was made.
Well, let those.
All right, I may have to turn down the music as well.
I want no more of them.
How did you end up in this burrow?
I recall we were making good speed through the downs, eager to return to our friends. But a fog began to rise and it became hard to find our way. We began to hear voices calling to us, as if from far off, or else underground. And then, the dead were all around us. We fought them, but then I felt the presence of something else, something stronger, more evil. I saw a shadowy figure seize hold of Kalaran and he fell senseless. And it came for me. It is all I remember. But if I was brought living into this tomb, then the same would be true for Kalaran. We need to find him.
That's what we intend to do. Are you strong enough to join us?
Yes, I think I can keep up with you.
Let's go before any more dead things decide to turn up.
All right, hold on. What the? Give me the money. Come on, you undead freaks! Don't ask me how that worked, it just did.
Servants of the enemy, beware!
All right, let's do this.
It's Kalaran!
Oh! Ain't you charming?
What's happened to him?
Rangers, hear me! The Barrow controls him! Defend yourselves! We must strike him down!
He's a friend. I cannot.
The man you knew is dead. This is but a cruel trick. Defend yourselves!
Oh, don't that just suck? Where'd he go? Oh.
Fight me if you dare! Do you fear to face a dwarf?
God damn it.
You face a ranger now!
There we go.
It's a hard thing to see a good friend slain. And harder still to see his remains desecrated in this manner. But at least now he is at rest. But you, how are you bearing up?
First Black Riders, now Barrowites. This is more than men should have to contend with. But where there is life, there is hope. Thanks for your concern, but I will be all right. I owe it to those who have fallen to go on as best I may.
We've gathered many rich treasures from this tomb. You certainly deserve a share.
Thanks, but it would only serve to remind me of all of this. You keep what you have won.
The Barrowites have been driven out. The way back to the surface is now clear. I trust you will be able to make your own way back to the Sound Ford.
And just look around here. Alright, let's go. Oh shit, here we are.
J.R.R, it is good to see you safe. Eladan and Elro here told us of your actions at Fornost. Such courage and skill brings honor to all the Dunedain.
Indeed. It is an honor to welcome one so brave to my home, and your companions as well.
I am grateful for what you did at Fornost. If Agandaur's forces had joined in the hunt, there is little chance that I and my charges would have made it here to safety.
I thank you for the welcome. Are you the master of these halls?
Yes, I am Elrond Half-Elven, Lord of the Refuge of Imladris, or as you know it, Rivendell.
Half-Elven. What does that signify?
Both my sire, Earendil, and my mother, Elwing, had fathers who were of the Edain, the most noble of the men of old. They and their descendants are called the Parenthil, which means the Half-Elven.
Are you then of mortal kind, like other men?
To each of the Parathil is given a choice, whether to become mortal or to accept the life of the Eldar, the Elves. Long ago, I chose to be counted among elven kind. My own children will face this choice as well.
What befell you after we parted company at Bree, Aragorn?
I found the hobbit Frodo Baggins and his companions and led them through the wilderness, hoping to throw the Nazgul off our trail. All the same, 5 of them attacked our camp at Weathertop, and Frodo was badly wounded. After that, the enemy pursued us almost to the hidden pathways of Rivendell itself. We never would have saved Frodo, except that we had the help of Elrond and his people.
I still cannot understand why the most dreaded servants of the enemy would pursue a hobbit in this manner.
I think it is time we told our newfound
Gandalf, hey there, buddy.
themselves into.
Gandalf, so you are involved in this as well?
Indeed. Wherever there is trouble and strife, and the enemy is stirring, there you will find Gandalf the Grey.
Well then, can you explain why the enemy is so eager to get his hands on a poor little hobbit?
You have more than earned such an explanation. Tell me, what do you know of Isildur's Bane?
Isildur's Bane? That is another name for the Ring of Power.
Quite right. The Ring of Power. The One Ring. The ruling ring. After lying lost and nearly forgotten for centuries, Sauron's ring has once again been found.
Do you mean to say the halfling Aragorn rescued has come into possession of the Dark Lord's ring?
Small wonder the Dark Lord sent his deadliest servants to search for it. What will become of the ring now?
There is no safe resting place for the ring, not even here in Imladris. It is a danger to all who come near to it. There is only one course left to us. The ring must be destroyed.
To do so, the ring will need to be cast into the same fires from which it was forged. Those of Mount Doom, in the land of Mordor. The hobbit, Frodo Baggins, has agreed to take it there.
You're not going to send a hobbit off to Mordor alone.
No, certainly not. A fellowship will be formed. A fellowship of 9. 9 walkers set against Sauron's 9 Black Riders. Among this fellowship will be representatives of all the free peoples of the world.
Also, I just realized that's Tom Kane
And men.
returning for the voice of Gandalf, which
Will both be going.
if y'all don't remember, Tom Kane also voiced Gandalf in the Fellowship of the Ring game on PS2. So, that's neat.
What can the rest of us do to assist you?
The Nazgul and Agandaur are dire threats. We must learn all we can of their movements before the Fellowship is to depart. Scouts will be sent out in every direction to scour the lands around Rivendell. Your aid in this would be of great service to our cause.
Very well. Where should we start?
Agandaur is our chief concern. Although the Nazgul are powerful foes, their mission here in the north is abundantly clear. We can only guess what Agandaur may be planning, or where he went after he escaped from you.
I suspect he may be planning to move against us here. Sauron's hatred of the elves is very great, and he does not forget the hand we played in his defeat during the War of the Last Alliance.
If it is strength he wants, he may well find it among the Ettenmoors.
You know that region better than I. What can you tell me of the Ettenmoors?
The Ettenmoors are a spur of the Misty Mountains, lying almost directly north of Rivendell. It is a wild region of very rugged terrain, home to many trolls and giants.
I myself was in the Ettenmoors but days ago. I saw no sign of Agendaur's presence, but neither did I encounter trolls. That fact alone is troubling. It could be that they are gathering in force, somewhere among the moors.
If so, it is best we learn of it before they can take us by surprise. We will scout the Ettenmoors to see what we can discover.
From what I have heard of you, from Aragorn and Elrond's sons, I expected no less. Still, you have had a long road and hard fighting to get this far. Take what time you need to rest and recover before you set out. The Ettenmoors are a dangerous place for the unprepared.
The hospitality of my house is yours, for as long as you wish.
Woo!
Ah, Eredon. It is good of you to seek me out. You have grown into a fine man of the Dunedain. Your recent deeds of valor have proven your worth.
Oh, by the way, I should also add, basically every member of the Fellowship is here, somewhere in Rivendell, so we can actually go ahead and talk to basically all of them. I think we can only talk to Frodo. I can't remember if we can talk to, I can't remember if we talked to, Sam, Pippin, or Merry, though.
The Dunedain kingdom of Arnor fell long ago. There's nothing left in much of the north save ruins. Why would Sauron build a force here?
Sauron seeks dominion over all of Middle-earth. His desire is to order all things as he sees fit. Even were these lands empty from here to the sea, still he would seek to control them. There is power in Rivendell that could stand against him when all others fall, for a time. And this is something Sauron cannot allow.
For years I've patrolled the Shire at Aragorn's orders. I worry it may not be safe for me to abandon that duty.
Aragorn knows where you are most needed, Eredon. With the flight of the ring in this direction, the enemy is looking this way, and has forgotten the Shire for now. For now. But eventually his eye will turn once again toward the Shire, as humble as it is. Hobbits as miserable slaves would please him far more than hobbits happy and free. And there is such a thing as malice and revenge. Sauron will leave the final devastation of the Shire to his servant Agendaur. And that is yet another reason why you must find him and put an end to his designs. In opposing Agendaur, you are defending the Shire.
At Fornost, one of the great eagles came to our aid. Perhaps the eagles could help with the ring.
I don't fault you for thinking along those lines. Why not beg a ride from an eagle, fly far out to the west, and drop the ring into the deepest part of the sea? Such ideas were debated at Elrond's council.
And also the Lord of the Rings fan
There are
base.
many things in the deep waters, and seas and lands may change. We cannot think of our time alone. We must destroy this thing forever.
That's a really... Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Then have an eagle fly Frodo directly to Mount Doom.
Indeed. So simple as that. You think so mighty a creature as one of the great eagles could simply waft into Mordor and escape the eye that never sleeps? No. Not all the eagles of the Misty Mountains could stand against Sauron and the full power of his ringwraiths. It would be folly. Nor, for that matter, do the great eagles take orders from us.
Pardon me. I had hoped there might be another way, and Frodo could be spared what awaits him.
You have a good heart, and I wish it could be so. We debated many such notions. I had even given thought to dragons. There was a time when dragon fire could destroy a ring of power. But even if the mightiest of the dragons of old, and Calagon the Black, were alive today, his fire would not be enough to consume the One Ring, Sauron's ring. No, there is no other way. Frodo must go to Mount Doom. And you have a foe of your own you must contend with, Agendour. And there is no telling what allies and powers he is gathering.
When first we spoke, you said you recently passed through the Ettenmoors. Can you tell me more?
It is a rough and empty land, home to many trolls. I passed through with great haste, for I needed to reach Rivendell as quickly as I could.
And you saw no sign of trolls?
I saw neither trolls nor fresh signs of them, and that disturbs me more than encountering one. I doubt they've all packed up and left. Mindless brute creatures they may be, yet they can be used and driven to even greater wickedness by a strong enough hand. Agendour could well be forming them into an army.
You believe he is mustering the trolls for an attack?
That is my fear. I would gladly be proven wrong, but my heart misgives me that somewhere in the Ettenmoors you will find them gathering and being prepared for war. We must know. Such a force could be sent against Rivendell, perhaps in hopes of capturing the ring.
Then I'll gather my friends and scout the moors. We'll learn the truth of the matter.
Hold on, I still need to talk about you. Well,
When first
I
we
don't know.
spoke,
Fuck. Whoops.
It is a rough and...
this man Agendour, have you ever had word of him before?
Well, I know nothing of Agendour himself. I have seen his kind at other times in distant lands. He is likely a black Numenorian, and a master of dark sorceries.
That would make him distant kin to the Dunedain. I thought they'd long ago faded into myth. It also means he's more dangerous than I thought.
Who can say what promises Sauron has made to him? Perhaps even a ring of his own. At the very least, Agendour expects to rule all of the North. He would be a cruel tyrant. The elves he will seek to utterly destroy. Hobbits, men, dwarves, any that survive, will be enslaved. And he will raise an Iron Kingdom in the North, in mockery of the ancient glory of Arnor. This is his dark dream. It must never come to pass.
I should be going.
Greetings to you, Eradan. I am pleased to welcome you to my home. I had heard your name spoken with praise by Aragorn even before these recent events. You have more than proven the value of his judgment. The Dunedain are often our guests here in Imladris, but I would be pleased if you would consider this house as your home whenever you may have need of it. But I gather you are here for more than an exchange of pleasantries. Do you have questions for me?
Yeah, I found the scroll, buddy. Can you, decipher it?
I found this scroll at Fornost. I thought it best to bring it to your attention.
A wise decision. This is writ in the black speech of Mordor, a language I will not utter here. It is intended to instruct the reader in the use of dark sorceries.
If there is power to be gained from this scroll, should we not make use of it ourselves?
Have a care, Dunedain. You tread on dangerous ground when you harbor such thoughts. This, like all works of the enemy, is altogether evil. Any who make use of this, even from a desire to do good, will only be corrupted by it. Surely the ring has taught us that much.
Then it is good that we captured this from the enemy before it could cause further harm. What will become of it?
I will destroy this scroll at the very least. But wait, here I discover more. Listen to what is written herein. Scribed by the hand of Agendour, disciple of the great Lord Sauron, for the empowerment of his servant Wulfrun and those others of his faithful who prove worthy. I will speak no more of these blasphemies, but it does say that this scroll is one of 7 such works.
7 at the time of this writing. But could it be that Agendour has created more since?
Perhaps, but creating something of this nature is not a matter of simple scribing. Considerable preparation and effort is involved. We have reason to hope there are no more than 7.
So 6 more remain. Perhaps we can capture them as well.
That would be a great service to our cause. Should you recover them all, bring them to me, and I will ensure they are destroyed.
Why not destroy any I find immediately? Burn them or tear them to shreds.
You will find that works of this sort are not so easily destroyed. There are strong wards placed upon them that protect them from mundane harm. But I have the necessary skill to remove these wards. Should you gather the remaining scrolls, bring them to me, and I will see them destroyed.
I will be certain to do so.
In the meantime, please accept this in appreciation for bringing this matter to my attention. Perhaps it will be of service to you in your travels.
There is something else. I found this tome hidden amid the ruins at Fornost. It appears to be quite old.
Ah, now this is writing of an altogether more wholesome sort. This was not made by any minion of Sauron, but rather by the men of Arthedain, likely before the fall of Fornost.
Then it is old indeed, for Fornost was abandoned long ago.
It is more than 1,000 years since the Witch King of Angmar conquered Fornost and brought about the end of the Dunedain kingdom of Arthedain. What a grim day it was.
Tell me about this realm of Arthedain.
Arthedain was the last fragment of the great northern kingdom of Arnor. The heirs of Isildur ruled as kings of Arthedain until it too was destroyed by the enemy.
Yet the line of kings has remained unbroken. This much I know well.
It is true Isildur's line has remained unbroken, but without a kingdom to rule, they have not claimed the title of king and have been known simply as chieftains of the Dunedain. It is our friend Aragorn who currently bears that title, although he will be the last to do so. Either he will become a king, or Isildur's line will come to an end with him.
Perhaps this book is a record of those days long past. The pages are too worn and the writing too faded for me to make out much. Perhaps you can discover more.
Indeed. It seems to be a personal journal. And here is a name inscribed. M.A.L. Why, this appears to be a work of Malbeth, the seer of Arthedain.
Malbeth? The name seems somewhat familiar.
Many of the Dunedain race are gifted with foresight, but none more than Malbeth. He predicted the final destruction of the kingdom of Arthedain, which befell exactly as he had foretold. I will examine this work carefully. Who knows what other visions are here recorded? It may be that we will find something of value to us in this time of trouble. You did well in bringing this to me. Take this in way of thanks.
I am happy to have been of service. Thank you, and farewell.
Oh, did I actually level up from that? Hell yeah. Let's see. Wait, what does that do? +2 strength, +4 will.
Greetings.
Is there anything more you can tell me about this mission to the Etenmoors?
Only that the Etenmoors are a dangerous place at the best of times. The danger will be that much greater if the orcs and trolls are being organized by an outside force. You and your friends will need to have your wits about you.
And if we do find the enemy gathering in force, what then?
You will have to determine your best course of action. But when dealing with the foul folk, it is always wise to eliminate any strong leader you may find. But without someone who can enforce discipline, they will often fall to fighting amongst themselves. If the enemy is mustering in the Etenmoors, Try to recover any clues that may help us determine who is behind it and where they may be found.
Who could raise such a muster?
Agendaur would be my first guess, but it could also be a strong orc chieftain, or perhaps an unusually cunning troll. At worst, one
Hey, wouldn't be the first time.
Nazgul may have made their way, if any of their mounts survived the flood we unleashed upon them.
Whatever may be happening there, you will know of it. Farewell, Master Elrond.
Ah, there it is.
Eredan, I am glad of this chance to speak with you. I wish to tell you how proud I am of all you have accomplished. Halbarad has taught you well, and your acts of courage honor the memory of our brothers who fell at Sarn Ford. Knowing I have the loyalty of such men strengthens my resolve.
I would like to know more about those chosen to be part of your fellowship.
Who is it that interests you?
Tell me about the Wood Elf, Legolas.
It is fitting that we have a representative of the Eldar, the Elves, along with us on this venture. They have been foes of Sauron since before the ancestors of the Dunedain first returned to the shores of Middle-earth. Legolas is keen of eye and ear, and he is unmatched as a bowman. His arrows seldom miss their mark.
What about this man of Gondor, the one called Boromir? If he hails from Gondor, then he is one of our long-sundered kin. But what else do you know of him?
Boromir is the son of Denethor, the steward of Gondor. I had never met him before Elrond's council, but long years ago, under another name, I served his grandfather Ecthelion. The men of Gondor are valiant and strong, and by all accounts Boromir is foremost among them in courage and skill at arms. I suspect we will have need of his sword before our quest is through.
What can you tell me of the dwarf Gimli?
I have spent little time among dwarves, but Gimli is one of Durin's folk, and the dwarves of that line are trusted by Elrond, in spite of the differences that sometimes divide elves and dwarves. If Gimli is like most of his kin, he will prove loyal and stout-hearted, enduring in hardship and fierce in battle.
What about these other hobbits? Is it wise to send so many of the little folk on this quest?
We are asking much of Frodo. Until recently, he had never set foot outside the confines of the Shire. It will be a comfort for him to have the familiar companionship of his friends and kin, in the face of so much that will be new and frightening. I have traveled with these hobbits, and they proved far more courageous and hardy than many would suspect.
What about Gandalf? What can you tell me of him?
To know all there is to know of Gandalf would require a lifetime study. There is much about him that remains a mystery, even to me. Yet he is a relentless foe of Sauron, and without his vigilance, the ring would already be in the hands of the enemy. His wisdom and leadership will be of great value to the Fellowship.
I feel I should accompany you on your quest. Let me go south with you.
The Ring-Bearer's companions have already been chosen, and I will not gainsay the wisdom of Elrond and Gandalf in this matter. I know it is hard for you to remain behind, but until now you have always dedicated yourself to protecting the people of the North. I would ask you to continue to do so, for the servants of the enemy are found in many places, not in Mordor alone.
I gather you had never heard of Agendaur before these recent events.
I had never heard nor dealt with Agendaur specifically, but I know his kind. Years ago I served in disguise in the armies of Gondor, where I contended with the corsairs of Umbar, who were often led by those akin to Agendaur. These black Númenóreans are a corrupt and wicked race. They worship Sauron as a god and seek the utter destruction of all who oppose him.
You go now to claim your rightful place as the King of Gondor.
Above all, I go to help Frodo fulfill his quest. For unless the ring is destroyed, Gondor will soon fall, king or no king.
You have traveled a great deal. Is there anything you can tell me of the Etenmoors?
Only that it is a dangerous and unforgiving place. My own grandfather Aradur was slain by trolls in the Etenmoors. It is important we learn if the enemy is active in the moors, but we do not send you there lightly. Be on your guard at all times while you venture there.
Good luck to you.
Oh yeah, here's the blacksmith we could show that stuff to.
Welcome, Eredan. I suspected you would find your way here before long.
What task are you working at now?
My fellow smiths and I are preparing for a great work. Soon we will be called upon to reforge the legendary sword Narsil. In the meantime, I've been sharpening my skills by practicing the art of imbuing gemstones.
What can you tell me of this sword, Narsil?
Narsil was the sword of Elendil, a mighty lord of the Dunedain who defied the Dark Lord in the War of the Lost Alliance. He bore the sword in battle against Sauron, but he was slain and the sword was broken. Since that time, the shards of the sword have been an heirloom of the House of Elendil. It was to remain broken until the day when an heir of Elendil would go to war to reclaim the crown and title of king. That day will come soon, and the sword must be made whole once again.
What do you mean by imbuing?
Simply that certain objects have inherent virtues, and a skilled artisan can, through his craft, increase those virtues and bind them to an object for advantage. Gemstones are very strong vessels for this process. Sadly, appropriate gemstones have become difficult to find. The growing trouble throughout the land keeps travelers away, and our own people are staying closer to home.
Perhaps I can help you with that. I will be traveling soon.
I would be pleased to have your help. I will provide you with a list of the types of gemstones that are of the greatest value to me. If you collect the stones, I am certain I could create something that you would find useful. But to be of use, the gemstones must be of the highest quality. Fortunately, we have as a guest a dwarf of the Lonely Mountain. Glowin is his name, and he is skilled in the appraisal of gems.
Pronounced Gloin.
Once you have
It's
gathered
pronounced
the stones,
Gloin.
allow him to examine them. He'll know if they are suitable.
I have gathered a few artifacts of interest on my travels. I believe you might be able to help me with them.
Ah, these are work of Westernese, the lost land of Numenor. The men who forged these items were skilled indeed. You have the makings of a unique weapon here. Although these components were never part of a single work, I believe you have assembled everything I would need to make it so. The finished weapon would undoubtedly carry some elven qualities.
What do you mean by that?
Only that with a work such as this, the finished product is liable to reflect the nature of the smith who assembles it. If, for example, a dwarven smith were to complete this weapon, it might possess quite different qualities from the weapon I would create.
I would be pleased if you would undertake this task.
Very good. I will get started at once. There, it is finished. May this serve you well, my friend.
You have done my ancestors proud, Angmir. Thank you.
Alright, now I need to talk to you again because I need repairs. Ooh, damn. That's a really good sword. Holy crap. Ooh, looks beautiful. Fire damage on top of that? Let's go. Ooh, it also glows. Hey there, Legolas. I can't wait for it to not be Orlando Bloom.
Pardon my curiosity, but you don't appear to be one of Elrond's people.
No, I am one of the woodland folk of Mirkwood. My name is Legolas Greenleaf, the son of Thranduil, king of the Woodland Realm. But I too am curious. You don't appear to be one of the men of Dale, nor one of the Bjornings.
I am Eridan, one of the Rangers of the North, the Dunedain.
Ah, one of those who follow Aragorn, son of Arathorn.
Tell me about Mirkwood.
Mirkwood is the greatest woodland in all of Middle-earth. It was called Greenwood the Great, before the shadow of Sauron fell over it. In ages past, it was a place of great beauty. But now, it is filled with darkness and dread, save only in the north where my father's realm is maintained.
What brought you on such a long and perilous journey?
Unpleasant business. My father sent me to report the escape of Gollum, a creature Aragorn had entrusted to our care.
What can you tell me about this Gollum?
A pathetic creature who long held the Ring of Power. The evil of the ring has left him twisted and tormented. His only thought is to recover what was taken from him.
How did Gollum manage to escape your guard?
Not from a lack of watchfulness, but perhaps from too much kindness. We occasionally allowed Gollum to go about the wood under close guard.
Yeah, you certainly fucked up on that end.
The guards were attacked by orcs from Dol Guldur. In the confusion, Gollum escaped. We followed his tracks southward for many leagues, until it drew near to Dol Guldur. There, it became too dangerous to pursue him any further.
What is this place, Dol Guldur?
A stronghold of the enemy in the south of Mirkwood. It was once the dwelling of the Dark Lord, until he was driven out in the year of the Dragon's Fall. But it has once again become a place of great evil. All the darkness that besets Mirkwood has its source in Dol Guldur.
Will you be departing for your home soon?
No. I have been chosen to represent Elvenkind among the Company of the Ring. I will be accompanying the halfling, Frodo Baggins, on his journey south.
It seems strange that with so many elves in his own household to consider, Elrond chose to make you a member of the Fellowship.
I asked for the privilege, and Elrond did not refuse me. I feel he may have been relieved not to lose any of his household to this quest. He will have need of all his strength, should the enemy move against Imladris.
I am curious why you would volunteer for this.
Partially to make amends for the loss of Gollum, but more so because this will be the final chapter in our long struggle against the darkness. And I wish to have a hand in our final victory. Or at least, to stand in the forefront of our last act of defiance.
May fortune favor your fellowship in the days ahead, Legolas.
Out of the way. Let's see. Then, there's Dunedain over here.
The sun shines and all is fair and peaceful here in Imladris. A far cry from the blood and dust of Fornost, is it not? You and your companions did very well there. Indeed, things might have gone badly for us had you not been there. You have earned some time to recover from the toils of battle and hard travel. And I believe you will find no place better for the restoration of body and spirit than this, our home.
How was it you happened to be at Fornost?
We often ride far afield hunting the orcs, wherever we may find them. We came upon signs of a large band of goblins making their way from the orc hold of Mount Gram and followed their trail to Fornost, where we lost no time in attacking them.
Aragorn frequently travels and fights beside you, does he not?
Yes, we often venture forth in company with the Dunedain, and none more frequently than Aragorn. He was raised here in our household, after all.
How is it that a man came to be raised here among elves?
It is a tradition for the heirs of Isildur to be fostered in the House of Elrond. We have sheltered all the chieftains of the Dunedain from the time the Northern Kingdom ceased to be down to this present day. Aragorn is the 16th in line from father to son to spend his early years in Imladris. This is one reason why the bond between our two peoples is so strong.
Will you tell me more about your family? I know Elrond is your father.
Yes, it was he who established the refuge of Imladris. My brother and I have dwelt here all our lives. Our sister Arwen dwells here as well, although she has spent many years in the company of our grandmother.
What of your mother? Does she dwell here also?
Our mother has crossed the sea and left Middle-earth. It is a bitter tale to tell. Many years past, on a journey across the Misty Mountains, our mother was captured by orcs. We searched the mountains without rest until we found her at last. Our father was able to heal her injuries, but the memory of her torment was too terrible for her to bear. At last she chose to depart for the Undying Lands.
Damn, that's rough.
Understand why our hatred for the orcs is so great.
That is a sad tale. I am sorry to have reminded you.
No, my friend. We have drawn swords together in the same cause. You have earned our trust. We do not wish to keep anything hidden from you. This is the evil that we have pledged our lives to destroy, just as you have.
I may be in need of a few things before we set out. Is there anyone I can speak to about that?
If it is provisions or other supplies you need, you should speak with Alari. And if your arms and armor need tending, seek out Angmir. Both of them may be found nearby.
I wish you luck. Goodbye.
Hey, there's Gimli.
I thought it rare to find one dwarf so far from home. Yet here is another. If I may say, there's something about you that reminds me of my companion Farron.
Gimli, son of Gloin, at your service. Your eyes serve you well, Ranger. Farron is indeed a kinsman of mine, and a most valiant dwarf. And if I may say, your own fame has gone before you. You fought well at Fornost, and I hear much praise of your exploits. Most impressive, though of course you had Farron's help.
I must concede the usefulness of a dwarf in battle. He wields his weapon to good effect, as long as he stays clear of my knees.
Useful? I dare say you'll find him more than useful. Why, he's a hero of the Battle of the Five Armies. Men, elves, and dwarves against orcs and goblins. And many an orc has felt the caress of his axe.
Farron said no word of other kin coming to join him. What brings you here to Imladris?
Aye, it's a long march from the halls of Erebor, but grim news goes on swift feet. It was for Bilbo's sake we came, with a warning that the servants of Sauron wished to find him and his ring. Thrice a Black Rider came to the front gate of Erebor, demanding news of Bilbo, and threatens to return once more. Ere that should happen, King Dain sent my father, Gloin, to seek the advice of Elrond. You've heard the results of the council? I see you have. I have sworn to protect Frodo upon his quest, an oath I will fulfill though all the orcs of Middle-earth stand in my way.
You're bold to defy a Nazgul if it was indeed one of the 9 who came to your door.
Not one of the Nazgul, I think, but it was a fell servant all the same, who spoke in a voice like the hissing of snakes. What sort of man can serve the enemy willingly, even gladly, is beyond my understanding. More cruel than any orc he struck me, full of venom and lies.
Your words fit Agandaur well. His cruelty knows no bounds.
Could it be so? Perhaps. It is enough that we will not be deceived by promises from Mordor ever again. The only way the Dark Lord gets his ring back this time is when it's tossed into the fires of Mount Doom.
Erebor, the Lonely Mountain. I've heard tales of it. Were you there at the downfall of Smaug?
Sadly, no. I was far to the west in the Blue Mountains where I was born, for my father deemed me too young to join him on Thorin's quest. But once the dragon was destroyed, I hurried with many of my kin to settle there. I've labored some 70 years to restore what was lost and helped build anew the city of Dale from the ruins of the Dragonfire. I've seen the bones of Smaug upon the lake bottom where he fell. Did you know that Bilbo exchanged riddles with the dragon? Now that's a tale he should tell you. We owe much to that fine old hobbit.
Do you know Frodo well?
I know only that he is Bilbo's adopted heir, and that he is chosen of his own free will to bear and destroy the ring. That's all I need to know. I'll protect him to my final breath if need be.
Elrond has asked us to scout the Edenmoors. But what is it that worries you about the north?
I like not what I've heard of this Agandaur you drove from Fornost. He could yet cause grief untold. There are rumors of gatherings of orcs, goblins, and other deadly foes growing in strength. When the Dark Lord strikes, there will be more than one land that feels his wrath. I fear for the Shire and Rivendell. It would ease my heart to know that you'll look to the defense of the North for as long as you're needed. With help from Farron, of course.
For my part, you have my word on it. And I have no doubt your trustworthy kinsman and Andriel will stand by my side.
This has been quite the dialogue heavy part. Hey, Frodo.
Hello. You are Aradan, aren't you? I was hoping I would get a chance to speak with you.
And you are Frodo Baggins. Aragorn and Gandalf have told me about you. And your burden.
Likewise, they have told me all about you. I wanted to thank you and your friends for all you did to keep us safe on our journey to Rivendell.
Will you tell me about your journey here? Clearly, it was not an easy one.
We had trouble almost from the start. The Black Riders were always just behind us, and we nearly met disaster in the Barrow Downs, at Bree, and again at Weathertop.
You entered the Barrow Downs? If you escaped from there, you are made of sterner stuff than I'd imagined. That is
Yeah, I just came from there.
You seem to know a great deal about the Barrow Downs already. I'd prefer not to speak about what we found there. It is too horrible to dwell on, even here in the safety of Rivendell.
Well, we couldn't have gotten out without the help of good old Tom Bombadil. Who?
What befell you in Bree? We must have just missed crossing paths there.
There were spies in Bree, and our room was attacked in the night. If Strider hadn't convinced us to sleep elsewhere, our journey would have ended then and there.
I am familiar with the ruin known as Weathertop. What happened there?
We were attacked by 5 of the Black Riders. I was foolish, and I put on the ring. One of them wounded me before Aragorn managed to drive them away. The knife that was used against me left a shard in the wound. From what Gandalf has told me, the fragment was working its way inward. If it had reached my heart, I would have become a wraith under the power of the Black Riders. Fortunately, we were able to reach Rivendell in time for Elrond's healing arts to save me.
It is a little thing, this ring, but filled with mischief. Will you show it to me?
No, I mean, I'm sorry, but Gandalf and Elrond have warned me against revealing the ring to anyone, even proven friends. I hope you understand.
Yes, I believe I do begin to understand. It was wrong of me to ask. Forgive me.
There is nothing to forgive. But the ring, it has a strange effect on everyone around it. It is better for it to remain hidden.
It is indeed a heavy burden you bear, Frodo. May you find strength and wisdom on the long road ahead. Farewell.
Oh, I got an achievement for speaking to Frodo. Neat.
Well, my friend, it's an honor to make the acquaintance of one of Thorin's valiant companions. I'm Glóin, son of Groin from the Lonely Mountain.
And one of
excuse me, your dad's name is Groin? Oh, I'm so sorry for you.
Famous dwarf. I'm Eredon of the Dunedain.
I heard about that business at Sarn Ford, and they say that 3 of you brought down an orc chieftain at Fornost. I expect I'll be hearing of even greater deeds before long. It does my heart good to see a dwarf, an elf, and a man working together again. Reminds me of the old days, it does, when the 3 kindred fought alongside one another in the Battle of the 5 Armies.
Then you approve of Thorin's alliance with Andriel and me?
I will speak plainly. I may be less than fond of King Thranduil's wood elves for keeping me in their dungeons, but I've no grudge with any of Elrond's folk.
Yet in the Battle of the 5 Armies, it was Thranduil's elves who died alongside men and dwarves in battle.
You're right, of course. I can be a stiff-necked old dwarf, but it's time to set aside grievances that were long ago repaid. When dwarves, men, and elves fought together at Erebor, we overcame legions of foes. But we face a far more terrible enemy in the Dark Lord. Standing together against Agandaur may be more than just a good idea. It may be our only hope to save the North.
We must not forget the Great Eagles. They have been a great help to us, just as they were to you and your companions.
Well spoken. Thorin's quest and the Battle of 5 Armies would have met disaster without the help of the Eagles. You're fortunate to have gained the friendship of such noble creatures. Your life may well depend upon your choice of friends, whatever kindred they be.
Sauron's attention will be focused largely on the south. Perhaps if we thwart his plans here, it will distract him. That could benefit Frodo and the Fellowship on their quest.
That's my thoughts upon the matter, too. Be the stinging fly in the ointment, as it were. Only this fly's sting will be deadly, and it's time to be about your business. Goodbye, and good luck to you.
I can't remember if we can find Boromir here or not.
Welcome, Dunedain. Welcome to Imladris.
That's a weird camera angle there, lady.
I have many things in my keeping that might serve you well.
What the fuck? What is this camera angle? What? I'm not sure if this is safe for work for Twitch, guys.
Imladris? Where is that?
Your pardon, this is Imladris, the house of Elrond Halfdelven. We who dwell here call it by that name, but it is more commonly known as Rivendell.
I don't, just show me what, you're the merchant. Oh, man. Oh, wait, hold on. I wonder if we can turn that Malachite into, Angmar. Eels have been such a help to us. Maybe we should just get for you to carry the Fellowship too. Now that, well, it's funny because we literally just got done talking with Gandalf about how that's a bad idea.
Those who venture...
And there's Bilbo. Good old Bilbo Baggins.
Hello, you are one of the Dunedain, are you not? Please allow me to introduce myself. Bilbo Baggins at your service.
Eredon, at yours.
Always happy to meet one of the Guardians of the North. I've heard about what you and your friends did to help my Frodo and the Dunedain reach Rivendell safely. You'll have to tell me all about it one of these days so I can write it all down properly.
Tell me about Frodo. Is he your son?
Oh no, he's not my son. Actually, he's my first cousin once removed. And also my second cousin once removed. Well, it's complicated, but we share a great-grandfather. The poor lad was orphaned at an early age, and so I adopted him. Made him my heir, all nice and legal, while simultaneously dashing the greedy hopes of my odious relations, the Sackville Baggins. He's a good lad, Frodo. I only wish he hadn't inherited my troubles along with my estate. I hope that Gandalf and the Dunedain will keep him safe in the days ahead.
The Dunedain? In the Elvish, that signifies man of the West. One of my people.
Yes, indeed, but when I say it, I mean Aragorn, of course. The Dunedain, he is often called here. A remarkable man, Aragorn, and a good friend. I almost wish that I could accompany him on his grand quest, but I'm far too old for adventures now. I only hope I will be spared long enough to write it all down.
Can you tell me how Frodo came to be in possession of the Ring of Power?
Well, yes, that was through me, I'm afraid. I found the ring by happenstance while lost beneath the roots of the Misty Mountains. I won it. That is to say, I took it from the creature Gollum. Of course, I did not know the full story of the ring until only a few days ago.
I thought it was merely a magical bauble with the power to make the wearer invisible. I only used it to avoid unwelcome visitors. Imagine that old ring of mine causing such a fuss. I would gladly take charge of it again if that would help. Oh, yes. Gladly. Yes. You know, I think it would be best if we discussed something else.
Now you call Rivendell your home?
Well, the Shire will always be my home, I suppose. But this is the perfect place for so many things that I'm more than content to remain here. My days are mostly filled with my writing now.
What is it you write?
Oh, a little of this and a little of that. History, my past adventures, family trees. I've even begun a book of translations from the Elvish. Although lately I've been working on poetry mostly. Say, maybe you could help me with that. I'm writing a poem for Aragorn and I'm a bit stuck on a line or two.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Well then, let me hear what you have.
Very well, very well. The verse that's giving me trouble runs like this. The light from the west is rekindled. Forth from Imladris it springs. Renewed is the hope that has dwindled.
The light from the west is rekindled. Forth from Imladris it springs. Renewed is the hope that has dwindled. To challenge the Lord of the Rings.
He said the thing. He said the title.
That's not bad, no. Maybe I can...
Imagine that whole time I had such a powerful artifact that could have ruled the Shire with an iron fist.
You should put down your weapons and take up a pen.
One day, perhaps. But for now, we have more need of warriors than poets.
Oh, I'm afraid you're right, but since these old hands are not much use with the sword, I'll just keep on with the pen. Though I'll need some help. Perhaps you could show this to the Lady Arwen. She has her people's gift with words, and this touches her deeply after all.
Arwen? Who is she?
Why, she's Elrond's daughter, of course, and Aragorn's beloved as well. Although you didn't hear that from me, she's a sweet lady, and I'm sure she'd be willing to give me a hand with this.
I will take it to her.
Ah, thanks very much. Be sure to give her my compliments, won't you?
I will indeed. Farewell now.
That? Oh, I want to make sure I got basically everybody in the area. You know, it's weird. You'd think Boromir would be in this area. He could be on the bridge for all I know. Probably not.
My Govannen, well met and welcome to the safe haven of Imladris.
My Govannen, Lady Arwen. It is a great honor.
The Dunedain are always welcome here. You have endured great danger and given us urgent warning of a new threat to the north. For this, we honor you, Eradan.
It is my duty as a ranger, nothing more. I am glad to be of service to my Lord Aragorn.
You show the modesty worthy of a hero. Estelle and my brothers have spoken highly of your courage at Fornost, and I thank you for your part in seeing to my brother's safe return. Please, take your ease and rest a while in our halls. You will find all your heart could desire, whether it be food, drink, song, or storytelling.
Estelle? The name means hope. But who is this Estelle you spoke of?
Forgive me. I forget that not all the Dunedain know of this. Estelle was the name given to your chieftain, Aragorn, as he grew up in Imladris.
It is a good name. How did he come to be known as Estelle?
As a ranger, you must know of the practice of bringing the child of a chieftain to Imladris to be fostered. But you may not know how great the danger was at the time. Aragorn was but 2 years of age when his mother, Gilrain, brought him here after his father was slain by an orc arrow, Isildur. Elrond became like a father to him. Knowing the enemy sought ever for a living heir of Isildur, he renamed the boy Estelle to keep his true name and lineage hidden. Aragorn was 20 before Elrond revealed these things to him and gave him tokens of his heritage. But he remains Estelle to me, for he is my heart's hope, even as he is the hope of the Dunedain.
The Dunedain are not given to idle gossip, but I have heard that you pledged yourself to Aragorn. It would be a joyous thing if true.
Long ago, I pledged myself to him beneath the golden boughs of Lothlorien, saying to him, "Dark is the shadow, and yet my heart rejoices, for you, Estelle, shall be among the great, whose valor will destroy it." Yet there is much pain in this choice, for I am Elrond's daughter and half-elven. To cleave to Estelle, I must forsake my immortal life and become mortal, accepting the bitter with the sweet. Even should Imladris endure this war, Elrond will leave Middle-earth, and we will be parted beyond the end of the world. It is the price I must pay to bring love and hope to Estelle, to Aragorn.
Would that I had the leisure to enjoy the peace of Imladris. But Elrond has asked me to scout the Ettenmoors. My companions and I must leave as soon as may be.
Then I will not keep you, but we may be of service to one another. I am helping my father brew a potion known as Miraval. One sip of Miraval can renew heart and soul, and bring new vigor to weary limbs. I am in short supply of certain rare ingredients that may be found in the Ettenmoors. If I gave you a list of the ingredients, perhaps you could bring any you find while carrying out your mission. With enough ingredients, I will return the favor by brewing an extra flask that you may have for your own use.
Gladly, Lady Arwen. That is a generous offer. Should I find what you require, I will return to you once my mission is complete.
Oh yeah, also this poem.
My Govanen, Eridan. I continue to brew Miraval.
Is Miraval truly as potent as I've heard?
You will be able to judge for yourself if you can bring me the ingredients. One sip restores strength, uplifts the spirit, and brings hope to the weary heart. I wish you luck in your search.
I have watched hobbits from their borders, but seldom spoken with them. Is Bilbo typical of his kind?
I had once thought Bilbo unique, but now that I have met Frodo, I say that elves know less of hobbits than we think. They have a strength within that is far greater than their stature. How many of us, thinking ourselves strong, could have borne the ring as long as Bilbo did, without being turned to evil? It sustained him, so that he is now very old amongst his kind, but it did not stain him, nor has it lessened his love of poetry and song. Dear old Bilbo, I believe there is nothing he loves more, except a good meal. In that, he remains a true hobbit.
I have an errand I must not forget. Here is an unfinished poem from Bilbo. He asked for your opinion and advice, saying the subject is very close to your heart.
Then it must be about Estelle. He is fond of writing verses in honor of his good friend, and therefore often comes to me for advice. You may leave it with me, Eridan. I will give it some thought and answer him myself.
Thank you, lady. Perhaps the time will come when I can enjoy these gentle arts, but that time is not today. I must take my leave, lady. Namarie.
Wait, so did it work? Hold on.
My Govanen, I continue to...
I shall do my best.
Do I talk to Bilbo again after that, or is that basically all said and done?
Greetings! I hope the Lady Arwen will have some good suggestions for my verse. I'm really most eager to finish the thing.
I must be on my way.
Okay, nope, never mind. Gotta make one more pit stop. Because I want to see if that, that perfect malachite can be given to Angmir.
How can I assist you?
Nope, never mind.
I should be going.
Those who venture into the...
Yeah, so we will travel to the Entmoors, but that is where we're going to be ending the part. Yeah, very, very dialogue heavy today, but, you know, because I'll be doing it, I'll be, playing this tomorrow as well. So tomorrow will be basically going to be pure combat, so, yeah. Fun stuff that will be had. Oh, yeah, I think this is where we start getting these. So these are challenge missions that we can do. I may show them off at some point. But they're basically like battles that we can participate in. Like there's Lorien, which I don't know what exactly that is, but then we have you know, Battle of Osgiliath. We can do these at any point. I think they're mainly for you know, getting better equipment and all that. So I may take a look at them in the next part, or maybe some point in the future. I know there's more than those two that we can unlock, because I want to say Helm's Deep is one of them. I could be wrong, though.
This is rough country, no mistake. But so far, we've seen no sign of trouble.
But the moors stretch on for many leagues. It would be easy to miss something in these rugged crags and valleys.
Let us continue the search, but be wary. More than one ranger has been lost in these wild lands.
Alright. Awesome stuff there, Eridan. Okay. Yeah, this was quite long in terms of everybody that we spoke to. But let me see who there is to raid. And as I said, I'll be playing this tomorrow as well, so we'll be fine on that end. Let us see here. You know what? I got Mike the Cat on. He's currently playing Borderlands 2. So we're gonna go ahead and send the raid over to him. But as I get this raid set up, just remember everyone, if you guys enjoyed what you've seen and you haven't already, don't forget to follow me here on Twitch, turn on notifications for when I go live. There are links below to follow with Instagram, Blue Sky, and Threads, so you get any and all stream updates and announcements that I have. There's also a link to my YouTube channel that you can subscribe to, because that's where I post the VODs for the Mountain Blade Monday series, as well as the other main playthroughs I'm doing for the channel, as well as WPW Saturday Night Showdown, news from the bunker, and shorts whenever I get shorts. Yeah, so we got more War in the North tomorrow. Next week, basically same schedule. I may do Destiny 2 on Tuesday, may not. We're gonna have to wait and see on that one. What else? Trying to think. If I do more War in the North, then obviously next Friday is December 20th. It is my 5-year streaming anniversary. That is when I'm debuting the second outfit of my model. Again, I'll be playing Tekken 4 and Tekken 8 that day, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. Then next Saturday, obviously next Thursday will probably be more War in the North, and I'll probably do something else on next Saturday. Maybe it'll be more War in the North. Who knows at this point. But, yeah. Let me just get this raid in from Mike. Send you guys on your way. And the raid message, as always, is going to be the bounty hunter has arrived. Make sure to go to let him know who is appearing on his doorstep. So, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all have a fantastic Friday night, evening, morning, whatever the case may be. And I will see you guys tomorrow for more War in the North. Have a good night, everyone, and see ya.